Hey there, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the rear delt back stretch. I'm going to do this single arm. So this is a great stretch for your rear delts, and I highly recommend you guys do it after your workout. At the end of the video, we're going to be talking about some of the common mistakes that I want you guys to avoid. That way you can get the most out of this stretch. So the first thing you're going to want to do is stand up nice and tall. Make sure that you're grabbing your arm right above the elbow and that you're pulling it across your body without rotating your chest. So notice my chest is facing forward, but my left arm is pulling my right arm in the opposite direction. What that's going to do is obviously going to stretch out the rear delt, also the back muscles. This is a great stretch that I highly recommend you guys do after your workouts, not before. You want to be doing some active warm-ups before your workout. But before we continue with more tips though, here's a word from today's video sponsor.
I'm today's video sponsor, and if you'd like help losing fat or gaining muscle, there are a few ways I can help you down below. Either set up a free consultation with us, purchase through one of our free affiliate links, or purchase one of our instant access affordable training programs. Can't wait to be of service to you. Now let's get back to the rest of the video.
Another key thing that you have to do when you're doing this stretch is that you're actually thinking about allowing that side that you're trying to stretch to actually protract the scapula, meaning allow the shoulder to move forward while you do it. Try not to keep your back flexed the whole time. Stretching is the lack of contraction, so you have to make sure that you allow the back to actually stretch in the rear delts. And this is great to do, especially after your workouts. That way you can get the mobility as well as the range of motion to come back to normal, so that way your muscles are not as tight. When you're training, it's tight, but after, you want to make sure that you're loosening up your body again. That way you prevent yourself from getting injured. And stretching is incredibly important. Everyone, including myself, has neglected it at some point. However, the older you get, the more important it is to have more mobility. Now, you don't have to be like a yogi or whatever you call that, where you're extremely flexible. Because excessive flexibility it has some negative connotations when it comes to building strength. Because if your muscles are not tight enough in order to generate power, you're not going to be able to be as strong as you can be. So if you're optimizing for strength, then you can't just be extremely flexible. However, you have to have a baseline of flexibility. You should be able to touch your toes. You should be able to put your arms behind your back. Just basic stuff like that, where you're going a little bit outside of your normal range of motion when you're doing exercise. That's the key thing. So when you deadlift off the floor, for example, you have to be able to touch the floor to be able to deadlift, right? So this is just a simple, very, very simple philosophy I have when it comes to flexibility. Now, the next thing I want you guys to do is make sure that you're holding it for a significant amount of time, enough to actually get some benefit from it. So 30 seconds on each side, do that for around 5 minutes. Or if you really want to get the most out of it, do it for a minute on each side, and then do that for approximately 6 minutes. So let's talk about some common mistakes now. You don't want to bend the elbow. I find that makes it a little less effective. Also, you want to make sure your arm is not low. You want it right across the chest. Like I said, don't have it too low. And then lastly, you want to make sure that you're not rotating your torso in the process.